Na, 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 na. It keeps disappearing. There we go. We are on the airwaves, coming at you live from not Imola. Let me just give everyone a minute. Ping should go out. We should have a guest in the chat today, so I'm not going to be lonely. Not that I was lonely last week, actually. There were some people here last week, which, mad respect to y'all. There's the ping for all the drivers, in case they want to hear me ramble on and on and on. Because some of them do, I think, maybe. Or usually they watch it back, so I don't blame them, it's distracting. However, when I raced, I always listened to the commentary as I went round, because I like to know what was happening on the track. Well, I guess this is a bit different, because most of the time I am just being, like, not in it at all, and missing crucial information. Oh. Someone's mic. I think it was AJ. AJ! Little mic burst will happen. Burmeister, vamos, vamos, my friend. How are you? Fresh off a race win. Fresh off a race win. Looking optimistic today. With a new teammate as well. I wish you well, my friend. I wish you well. So yes, Burmeister's here, I believe. We will see, we will see. Yes, good luck to you. And your new teammate, who we'll go into that a bit more in a minute when we're about to go in, when I have my briefing pulled up. I believe we're missing a driver, but we'll also get into that later, because that's quite controversial. Quite a controversial absence. And I have a take on it. I have a take on the absence. I do have an opinion. But we will wait for everyone to get here first in terms of lobbying. And then I will do my little introduction. Little intro spiel that most of this gets cut out in post usually. So that's why I always do my spiel in the loading screens. Just past league habits where they edit out the first chunk of the video. So this is why I start a little bit earlier, just so I can talk to the masses, or well, the mass. Because we only really have Burmeister here right now, and is that who I think it is who has just joined, because there's 3 viewers now. Ooh, the music. Ooh, suspense is kicking in. How are we all feeling? How are we all feeling? This isn't me being serious yet. We are definitely missing some people though. We are missing 2 drivers. I'm pretty sure. Oh god, that was really bad. Yawning once already. AJ's actually gonna kill me. I can't yawn more than 3 times in one stream, and the fact that I've already taken 1 yawn credit is very bad. Burmeister, if you're still here, you didn't hear anything. AJ doesn't need to know. So, I hear... Are we missing David? We are missing David. How many people were checked in? I swear we had all but 1 checked in. Excuse me while I, remove my microphone to a better place. Where's the check-in? Attendance. Yeah, we have 19 checked in. We're missing David. And we're missing I don't know who else we're missing. We're missing David and someone else. We're missing a Haas and we're missing... Oh, I can just check on here. We're missing one McLaren. Yeah, that's meant to be like that. We're missing a Haas of David. We're missing an Alfa Romeo. Is that intentional? Are we meant to... Yeah, I think we are meant to be missing an Alfa Romeo. So wait, have we got everyone then? No, because we've only got... We're missing 3 drivers. But only 2 free slots. Oh, Oscar, Joe, and... Yeah, no, we've got 3 slots. Oh, so we're only missing David. No. 8. But... My brain! Oh, reserve drivers! Oh my god. Yes, there's probably a reserve driver checked in who isn't here as well. But I know we're missing David. There seems to be conundrum occurring. And also some very good music in the background that's getting us hyped for Imola. This is not a sprint race, so it'll be 18-minute quali and 32 laps. I love the F1 soundtracks. They always like slap. And I think this game's, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this game's 23 soundtrack just a remix of a bunch of older F1 songs from older games? Because I know there's the 2020, I think it's 2021 or 2022 one in here. I know there's one of those ones in here, one of the ones that I play. Never commentated 2020, so I wouldn't know that multiplayer lobby music. See, people have more F1 knowledge than me and most people do. Oh, are we going? Are we going? We're missing a David DePay and a reserve driver, but it looks like we're gonna go. Chaos has ensued without Roy, which is the first thing I should probably note to you. Roy is missing. He's not here to organise the lobby, so I believe Cammy is organising alongside AJ, being bestowed in charge the day that Roy left. And let's get into why he's left. But first of all, welcome everyone to round 3 of the League of MVP Season 8. We're racing around Imola today. Same format as normal race weekend, so it's a short qualifying of 18 minutes, followed by a 50% session. Sorry, I only said 25. 50% session. We just came off a race weekend we just came off a race of Austria, which Roy was a big presence in. To Roy not being here today, which is very disappointing. So I should have you know that Roy typed me out like a little pre-race spiel, and he says, time to address the elephant in the room, or rather, a missing elephant in the room, we should say. That is the GOAT himself, Roy, which is missing due. Yeah, he's due to missing. That English. He's missing due to him being in the US of A currently. My take is that should have just hitched around AJ's house and gone with a second setup there and raced. But no, he's having a good time in the US, seeing some very cool things that he's seen. It looks like an amazing thing, going to many states, many places. Very cool. And here comes Snoopy out the pit lane. What pot luck, the driver I'm spectating comes out the pit lane first. Let's get up some information. Swampy on the mediums, that is not what I wanted though. Let's go with that telemetry, but not that, and the full track map for you all. Righty ho. We're going to get underway. So, just in case I didn't say already, or if you weren't here, it's a 50% race, 18-minute qualifying with standard safety car and standard red flags, since we are on a non-street track. Although, Imola, there's a track, I'll say that in a minute. Last year at Imola, season 6, race 1, which I might have been there for, you know. I might have been at Imola last year. But it was George in P1, AJ in P2, and Martin, who's no longer with us, in P3. And the current drivers' standings, I'll just say the top few. We got Lazy at the top of the drivers currently, followed by Burmeister, AJ, top 3. Top 3 teams currently, Mercedes, followed very closely by Williams, and then Red Bull, a solid 11 points behind. Roy says, good luck to all the drivers. I also wish my best for the drivers, as we're seeing everyone go out on the outlaps now. And my spiel has come to an end. Oh, Imola! Yes, Imola, very nice track. People love it or hate it. I feel it's like Marmite sometimes. And Snoopy's going on the lap, so I'll go on board while I quickly talk about Imola. Actually, let's go on board while I talk about Imola. So Imola's quite chicaney. You've got this chicane, the S's, which can be very tricky. We're going to see a lot of incidents, lots of spinning, I think, at those chicanes. Maybe a lot of invalidations here too. It's a tricky track, Imola, with gravel everywhere. Right here, you have a little bit of an uphill braking zone off the throttle, which can cause a few spins, and it's not so great on the throttle. Nice little bit of a straight with some DRS action into taking a Lesmo S corner into my favorite complex, Aqua Minerale. I love it because you get off the throttle, let the car glide through, and stick your foot down on the throttle. Very nice. But then the worst part is you get chucked out right into another chicane. Very tight, the chicane. Might see a few drivers going wide today, but Snoopy handles it like a boss. Going now down into another more Lesmo style corners. I think they're called, there's a name for them, but I forget what they're called. But they're very similar to Lesmo, I think. Oh, Revatsu? Maybe. Snoopy though, 1:15.394, time to beat currently. Let's see what is happening elsewhere along the grid. Everyone's out on lap, so I'm not even going to try, I guess. Here comes a Mercedes across the line, going P1, of course, does Nam Red, 1:14.951. Alpine of Josh Morton goes a 1:15. 326. AJ 1:15.001. Haas seem to be quite seem to show quite an interest in this track, so we're expecting a pretty good performance out of them. Swampy a 1:17.941. Mitch a 1:15.728. Team Red slightly between Josh and AJ, P4 currently 1:15.292, and that gets broken up though, because Lazy slots in front of AJ for P3, a 1:14.986. I believe we do have some better times to come from these drivers, because I think we should be looking around the low 1:14s to 1:13s, hopefully. I think Smidge has had a little bit of a slow lap or a little bit of a issue there. 1:16.068. Yeah, it's off pace by about 2 seconds. Someone just went up. I think it was no, it wasn't Sign. It must have been an Alpha Tauri of Smidge. No, it must have been a Red Bull even. So of course last week Burmeister coming up pretty strong off that Austria when I think he did keep that. He runs wide there on a hot lap. Hopefully it's an in lap. Roy, good evening, mate. Good luck in all. You have the nerve to show up in these parts. I'm joking. Welcome, Roy. It's nice to see you tune in. Yeah, I'm just going to try and do my normal thing, but feel free to yell at me from the chat and I might answer and let me know my audio cuts. Or does anything weird. Sign, I think I missed them coming across the line, but 1:15.338 definitely does not seem like a familiar time. Did you get my Discord message, by the way? Yes, and I did read it, as I always do. I do always read your Discord messages while the drivers are going on their outlaps. It's very useful. Although there seemed to be some biasry placed in there, which I had to word out. Kevin Cow, debuting today, actually. Kevin Cow was meant to debut last week, but debuts this week in Red Bull. Currently sitting mid-pack with a 1:15.506 in P9. Pretty solid so far. Let's see if he can squeeze any more pace out of that Red Bull. The Red Bull seems to be a slow burner car. First few laps aren't too hot, but then usually comes alive in the later stages of qualifying. Swampy, Roy's teammate, currently bottom of the set times with a 1:17 and current invalid lap. McLaren obviously down a driver. I wonder why. I'm sorry, Roy. Yeah, it's his debut this week. He couldn't last week. Yeah, I thought it was. But no, Kevin doing pretty well so far. All the drivers currently in pits or coming out on outlaps. So I am just sort of stalling for time here. Josh Morton. No, it's Jens about to come off an outlap. We'll go on board. Or we'll try to on this lovely, lovely Alpine car that is performing not so well at the minute, but let's see a good time up there, Jens. Right, go across the line, starts into a little bit of a crooked straight here. It's not a straight, so I don't know why we really call it a straight, but chicane numero uno, S is covered in gravel, Bottas and Russell incident, very infamous in those corners of the car. Maybe we see a recreation today, who knows. Followed up by a second, a lot harder I think to get the car turned in on that one. But now into uphill braking while turning. Very difficult to keep the car in control, but handles it well. David has showed up. It's a miracle. Yen now into the Lesmo corner, kind of, but it's not called Lesmo. And then into Aqua Minerale. Nice and blue to fit the blue Alpine. Takes it like a champ. Gets the car rotated very well into chicane with some name. Handles it well, gets the car rotated, gets a little bit of a curb there. It's sort of the play, you've got to get a little bit of curb to make sure that car gets rotated. It's a win-lose scenario into the Lesmo style corners. Number uno handles it pretty well, gets a good exit. Number two hits the rumble strip and the sausage curb. May put his time down a little bit, but it should still be a pretty decent time. Never mind, I lied. A 1:15.903, not the hottest lap, but it will do. It's a time on the board, some people would say. While I've been doing that, Mercedes is now top of the pack. Lazy's on an invalid lap, but in between them, Hamby, Williams popping off recently. Sign last week, Hamby going well in qualifying. That Williams car, it's good. And I think that they can really put out a blinder this season. But looking down to Haas, I think Mitch actually just slid in there behind the Haas. 1:15.162. But AJ, I should probably get out of cockpit cam, I'm so sorry. AJ, with that 1:15.001 set at the start of the session on a lap now through Aqua Minerale, takes it pretty well. Yellow flags though, may screw him over a little bit. Takes it like a champ though, through the chicane, looks very nice. Now down for this little run downhill. Lovely shot there of the Haas, coming over the crest now around these two corners. Little bit of rumble strip, but that's okay. Round the second one, little bit of rumble strip, but that's okay. To the line, it's looking to be about a 1:14.437, putting him top at the times. Getting closer to that 1:13 I alluded to. Who do you reckon takes it home today? Sorry, it took me a minute to read that one. Who do I reckon takes it home? I don't know. It's been chaos the last couple of races. We've had a Red Bull winner, and we've had a Mercedes winner, and we've had penalties come into effect multiple times. I could not guess if I tried, but if I had to, I think David is owed some dividends soon. So hopefully he makes the podium today, and maybe AJ can secure a dub for Haas, because I think it's exactly what they need today. Some good Haas points, because right now they are struggling. Burmeister sliding up to 5th with a 1:15.146. Did not notice that, but like I said, that Rebel tends to jump up the leaderboards towards the end of the sessions. Cammy for Aston Martin, been quite quiet this season, I reckon, but going on a lap now, trying to beat a 1:15.745. I think it's doable. Hopefully gets put up there with his teammate Mitch, as Team Red just jumps up to a 1:15.129 going P5 and invalidates on the corners, the last 2 corners. That is a rough spot, and invalidation does occur there, sadly. David is setting a lap right now for the Haas, approaching Aqua Minerale. I always butcher that name, but I just like it. And when it gets wet, I have a funny pun, because I call it Aqua, like water. Anyway, enough about my silly jokes. David has not invalidated yet. I think it's looking like a pretty good lap time. There's another shot of a Haas going over that crest. The game is manifesting a W for Haas today, and invalidates. I saw a wheel there just cross over the white line, and David's gonna pit. Those last 2 corners have caught out 2 drivers so far. It's not looking very good. Lazy on a lap currently, quite far out in the lap, just going up the uphill braking zone out of the S section into sector 2, going through the left-hander, 90-degree left-hander, that's it, into Agua Minerale. Takes it with speed, you love to see it. Looking for a better position, probably getting the jump on the Williams, maybe even the Haas of AJ. A little bit on there, and oh, that is not good. That is a slide there, ladies and gentlemen. That will not be a happy chappy there in that Mercedes. That will have to be another lap it takes to dethrone AJ of his current pole position. As we have 4 minutes left in the session, things are going to start heating up. And let's take a look at the Ferraris, actually. Let's see one on the lap here. With the special one-off livery, I mean, it is Italy, so I guess it works. Celebrating the Le Mans W. That takes a bit of grass there. It does. The Ferrari, numbered 7, like Kimi Räikkönen was. Ferrari really just said, let's add a yellow strip to our car. Yeah, it's good enough. That's a good enough tribute livery. But no, nice looking car. But I think B-Process is going to have to go around again. I don't think it... Oh, he is going to try and pit. He thinks he has time. Swampy, Roy's teammate. I'm going to keep saying that. Doing not too bad, I guess, considering he's got some drivers behind him, but a lot more in front of him. Looking to improve upon that 1:15. We'll get back to that as I'm just going to go check on Dino. Going through the left-hander now. Takes it well, going into Aqua Minerale. We'll get back to that. And Jen's actually not too far behind. So we'll keep an eye on all 3. They seem to be line by line by line on the track. And Mitch has just started a lap. I'm rhyming. I'm a poet. And I don't even know it. I'm a commentator. And I don't even... Oh, that looks like an abort by Dino, maybe. Gonna put the recharge on. Yeah, I'm gonna try again next lap, because time is running out. That will be Jens then, setting a full pace lap with 2 minutes 55 to go. It might have to be a double push, but no charge in the battery. You might be able to get a recharge lap in, actually. It doesn't seem like it's any improvement, sadly. Kevin Cow, on his debut performance, we'll be taking a look. Swampy goes 1:15.520, good enough to stick him in the midfield for this. Doing pretty well so far. And quickly, you can take a look at Kevin while I just make sure my microphone isn't doing anything dodge. It is not very nice. Hello to all 5 of you currently in the stream. And it seems like Kevin Cal has decided, I'm gonna grease up the tires a bit, get some grass, make the make the car a bit grassy, batter them up, get some nice Tokyo drifts. Probably just trying to get some clean air for one last fast lap that is probably going to be attempted now unless he's invalidated this and the next lap. Looked like that was going to slide out there. Oh, pit stop. And Dino's retired from the session. Is that a crash or is that us retiring the pit lane, I think? Who was that who just jumped up? That was David. There he goes. 1:14.606. David sets a decent time. And Mercedes are a solid 0.2 off. It's not impossible. But it's definitely going to have to require some defending by the two Hasses. But I think due to the time that David's gone out here, I don't think he's going to get enough time to get a recharge lap in and defend. Depends. It depends. It's risk reward here. The lap times are about 1:15. It's currently 1:06. He's already a fair bit around the lap. He might have managed to get a recharge in. Team Red on a flyer. Just coming out of SU Sector 1 now. Looking at Mitch there, cut a corner. Swampy in the garage. Probably will not be coming out. Everyone on out laps be process on a flyer. So is Cammy and Smidge. Cammy's going to take the line with 30 seconds of qualifying left to go. This might have been a recharge because this seems like the push. But he will probably be the first one crossing the line for that. AJ, everyone on flyers right now. We just got to wait until the scores on the doors come in. People you should be keeping your eyes on. The Williams, the Ferraris, excuse me, sorry Ferrari, no hate. The Hasses and the Mercedes. And maybe Burmeister, checkered flag taken for some as that marks the end of qualifying. I'm going to look here. Mitch is invalidated, so that's the end of his qualifying. It's a Mercedes next across the line. Narmbred. They're both Hasses are behind. If they don't mess up, they can set a better lap than the Mercedes, knowing what they have to beat. There seems to be an incident in the middle sector with a Alpine, so that might be causing a few issues for some people. Narmbred, 1:14.460. Hamby, 1:14.347. Takes pole position currently. AJ retakes it, 1:14.265. David now invalidated, losing out to Hamby and Narmbred. And maybe more. That's an invalid there for Team Red. Burmeister can't improve. Well, does actually improve above Team Red, that's it. I can find the name. David has retired from the session, and we'll go over the final order. Got a bit closer at the end there, but Haas taking a pole position. Can we keep track on the pole positions on the previous races? I don't know who's in charge of keeping track of statistics, but can we keep track of poles? Because I want to see. I want to see, like, you know, that stat that last season with Charles Leclerc, and it's like Max Verstappen has more wins from Charles Leclerc poles than Charles Leclerc has from Charles Leclerc poles. Roy says, GG AJ, strong lineup from Hamby. Yes, it's going to be an interesting fight off the line. Hamby seems to be very hit and miss. But please, all 6 of you, whether you've joined or you've stuck around for qualifying, don't leave us, because things are just going to get started now as we're going to the race. But first, let's recap the starting order for the race. AJ takes pole position in the Haas, followed by Hamby in Williams and Narmbred in the Mercedes. It's going to be an interesting fight, I think, in that top 5, because you've got David and Lazy 4th and 5th. Snoopy in 6th, Sign in 7th with Williams, not too far off. Teammate may be able to provide some support there with some of the backer drivers. Burmeister in 8th, previous race winner. Team Red in 9th, Mitch 10th, Swampy 11th, George Morton 12th, Kevin on debut, 13th, isn't too bad. B Process 14th, Jens 15th, Dino 16th, Cammy 17th, and Smidge 18th. I will ask Roy, because you are in the chat, who's your bet on for the race W based off that qualifying? Because I think, like I said earlier, it's really hard for me to predict the race W. But I think I'm going to have to go with one of the Hasses. It'll be a comeback story. But we're going to see what happens. It looks a bit grey, I'm going to be honest. It's looking pretty grey. We've had some interesting weather recently in some races. So this could be detrimental. AJ has strong starts, so he might run away. He does have some strong starts, but AJ usually runs into an issue some point, an incident, a penalty, anything. The keep an eye on Hamby, aggressive and quick driver, could send it into turn 1. He could. Roy is taking the words out of my mouth right now, doing a better job at commentating than I am. And he's talking in text. Well then, with all the garages whirring, we're going to be lining up on the grid shortly. No formation lap, so hopefully I'm going to get the lights dead on this time. With a grim-looking sky above us, it could provide for an interesting race. I don't have any weather forecasts or anything, but if anyone says it's going to rain, Roy, let me know. Or I'll check, or just anyone let me know if it's going to rain. But driver's taking a while to load in. I don't know whether that's like because they're picking their tires carefully or internet. Hopefully not internet, because that would really mess us up. Hopefully they're just being intricate about their strategies. Think about how they can handle this, because that's a very grey sky. And it's also a pretty long race distance around Imola, I think. Something odd. 30, 40 laps. Or maybe 28. Oh, I don't know. I see the likes in the chat. I see the little like emojis going off for when people are tapping them. Thank you for the support, guys. Those mean a lot. I'm stalling. I really am. Why are we not going in? Is the lobby bugged? Oh, Nine-Bread's gone, but we're going. 4 lights, 5. This is going to be chaos off the start. It's lights out, and away we go in Imola. AJ, like Roy predicted, pretty good start. Hamby, not too far behind though. It seems like chaos is occurring behind though, with the AI of Lazy, but it seems, oh, Nambread even plummeting. But Hamby looking for a run on AJ into Sector 1. It's very, very risky. Going for a move in Sector 1. That's an Alpine and a Williams there of Josh and Unbeaten Sign having a little bit of scrap. I'm just looking up and down the grid. Nambread is having what David had last race, of just plummeting due to a disconnect. I might need to do a re-invite. AJ and Hamby here though, pulling away from the front of the pack. The rest of the pack even, they are the front of the pack. Although David is not letting that slide too far. But they could be into some fights. Burmeister sliding past Snoopy there. Burmeister qualifying in the top 5, I think. It says he's up 3 positions off the start. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong line. Very good for him. There's a Ferrari there looking for a move, but no avail. Looked for a dive bomb. Alpine here in a little bit of a sandwich. AJ sets the fastest lap, looking down the straight. Kevin Cowell makes an overtake, but I don't think it's an overtake. I think Josh is in the pits. Nambread is back. I think this might be for a new wing. Let's take a look quickly. It's for new tyres onto the hard tyre. That's a very early strategy change. Maybe thinking he can hold the hard tyres for the whole race, which would be a very, very risky assumption of him. But let's see what that strategy pans out in the Alpine garage for Josh. Looking around the grid, I think there was just an overtake there. Snoopy getting past Burmeister again, and Burmeister getting past Snoopy. A little bit of exchanges happening down the straight with a little bit of battery burning, I think, would be my guess. That looked like a slide nearly there from Lazy. But this front pack here has pulled away 2 seconds from Burmeister. Sign now managing to get past Snoopy. Snoopy going right back though. That was a very nice move from Snoopy, I think. Can we see the tyre choices? Yes, I keep forgetting. Thank you for reminding me. Tyre choices. And there's your possible race strategy. The hard, soft, medium, medium. And we have one soft running off Kevin Cow. So looking at that soft, medium, medium. But everyone else on mediums or hard. So it'll be a medium, hard, or hard and medium for this race, I think. Roy, hopefully that was enough for you. Because DRS is a name. And this is where big overtakes start to happen, although overtakes have already happened. Looking at the front here, Hamby looking very, very close there on David's tail as David manages to slide up to P2 quite early on in the race, and there's a little bit of rave music going on in the grandstands. And they look like they're party rocking in the grandstands. But Hamby very close. Lazy also very close here. Lovely helicam here as Hamby seems to pull away from the Hasses, and I think the Hasses are pulling away from each other, which would be very dangerous because it would leave it might leave David to hang to Hamby and Lazy, but with one Mercedes out of the equation early on, it could be nice, although seems to be resting at the back of the pack here. Snoopy gets a 3-single time penalty for multiple warnings, and as we learned last time out in Austria, that can be for a combination of track limits and collision warnings, which I always said it was multiple track limit warnings, but it's just not true. Signed fastest lap 1:18.06, sorry, on the medium compound. Let's keep looking up and down the grid because that's all I do. The AlphaTauris might be having a little scrap here. Smidge takes a look, and look he does, and sends it. What's the words of Daniel Ricciardo? He licked the stamp and sent it there on teammate Dino. Of course, Ricciardo now in AlphaTauri. I'm allowed to say that. Snoopy picking up an early penalty, as we saw earlier. Could be very interesting. And Jens and Naunred are fighting at the back here. Naunred really struggling to pull off some overtakes here at the back there. Maybe there'd be damage to that car. I don't think there is damage to that car. I can't tell. It'd be very interesting if there was. It might just be a little bit of sketch defective driving there from Jens. I am keeping my eye on the front of the grid. Sometimes when commentating, I wish I had 3 eyeballs just to keep track on all the timing screens, what's happening on the screen, so I can make interesting commentary about it, and also all the data. 1:17.976, fastest lap there from David on the medium compound. I think the mediums are the tyres to be on right now, although the hard strategy may be better in the long run. Depends on the weather conditions, I believe. As Jens actually gets ahead of Cammy here. But Naunred seems to be really struggling, although here we go, a little run on the grass gives Naunred enough to slide through not only Cammy, but then Smidge following up. Jens now picking up a 3-second time penalty. And Naunred is, Naunred's nose is sniffling. Think about your words. He can smell Jens in. It's still sus, but it works. Through Aqua Minerale, we'll keep an eye on that Mercedes comeback story as we go up ahead on the rest of the grid to give him a little bit of love. Roy's teammate, Swampy, I think, back of a DRS train right now. Roy, what's your opinion on this, Roy? What's your opinion? Your teammate back of DRS train currently. Is this opportune? Also, I think you are team principal of McLaren, so I do believe you do have the facilities to comment on this. But Jens is, oh my god, Jens seems to be flying. through the sectors right now, overtaking left, right, and center. Gets past both AlphaTauris. The back is where it's at currently. Sign though, actually maybe bringing some attention to the front runners here, because Burmeister, previous race winner out in Austria, also winner of the sprint as well, double race winner in Austria. Taking to Aqua Minerale now, hands out pretty well. I think Burmeister with the better exit though. Is Sign gonna try and make a move? The weather seems to be getting even darker from some camera angles. May I introduce the possibility of rain at Imola? It's not impossible. Imola has rained in the past. Could provide very interesting spot to the race. Roy, team principal of McLaren, says, we are running in the conservative strat, staying off penalties and playing the long game. Well, that is a fancy way to say it. We're at the back of the DRS train. There is a yellow flag for Hamby. I did not see what happened there, but Hamby plummeting down the order for Williams. Sign luckily still being up there to provide some sort of high pointage for them, hopefully, if the race finishes as it is. But 32 laps, Hamby could come back. We could see a little fight here break out between Hamby and Narnbrad. Although it seems to be Jens and Narnbrad going at the minute. Narnbrad just can't seem to shake him. And I think the move's been made, and I think the shake has been shooken into Aqua Minerale. If you don't mess up this corner and get a good exit, you're pretty good. Now, Jens is left to be eaten up by the AlphaTauri pair, but Hamby has plummeted down the order. It's going to have to be another comeback drive arc happening right now for the Williams team and the Mercedes team. I don't want to say anything yet, but the future's looking bright for Haas if they can keep this up. Although I have a feeling... I don't know if they're a big fan of team orders, racing for the team, but David does need the points since he's had an unfortunate run of races. It might be that the team prioritizes David, but it is completely under their control now, and whether or not they're in communications. Sign and Burmeister here, and Snoopy. Snoopy running quite high for Ferrari here. Could be a good finish on the cards here for Ferrari, considering strategy does not end up with like strategy Z. Kevin on debut gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Unlucky there for Kevin. Currently running 7th, not too bad of a position right now. Let's get a look at this little train going on here. Towards the front. I'm being signed, Burmeister, Snoopy, Kevin now closing, same with Mitch. This train's shrinking back up now. All it takes is for one person to try and make a move, and the whole field, if split, sort of congregates back together. Because look, you can just about see in that back camera there, Narnbrad, Hamby, Jens, this little train here, Cammy a bit further back, and Josh gonna be lapped. What has happened with Josh? I don't know what's happened there. Alpine with a stinker at the minute. Not to say that they can't bring it back. Here come by the Hasses of AJ and David in that order currently. Will it stay in that order? Because they now have a Mercedes of lazy but talented, hunting them down, sniffing them out, finding their IP address and where they live. I'm joking. Getting the mods, involved. Burmeister 6 seconds out, but in a fight of his own with Sign and Snoopy. Okay. Oh god, that's your number 2. Oh no. This is. I think I might get a commentator penalty might be introduced because AJ. Oh, position swap down at Haas. It looked pretty intentional to me. Is this due to pit strategies? Is this due to just trying to be careful? Sign for Williams. Oh, that is a nasty crash. That's going to be a safety car. Williams off to a stinker. It's one of the top teams always. The first race, Haas. Second race, it was Haas again. And a little bit of half of Mercedes. And now it's Williams taking the baton of failure. And that is the safety car number 1. We have not gone a race without a safety car yet. We have had a safety car in all 3 rounds of the season so far. You'll be happy or not happy to hear. Snoopy gets 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings under a safety car. Oh, feisty. Haas choosing a new first driver. McLaren into the points, says Roy. Roy is stirring the pot more than I am. This is going to be a safety car. It will bring the cars closer together, allow for maybe a change of tyres, which actually might be needed for the medium compound runners. I think if you really could, Roy, you're a driver, do you think you can make the hards last to the end here? I think you can. I think the hards will last to the end here. Haas are double stacking though. Oh, and that's going to lose them some time, but is it going to lose them any position? Kevin speeding in the pit lane. Not a great start. And oh, double stacking has cost Haas a loss of position to Lazy in the pit lane. Well, hard will be easily the last thing in the race. Thank you, Roy. I need confirmation sometimes. Hamby is plummeting for some reason. Caught up in a lot of traffic there, I think, in the pit lane. Haas being right at the end, with all the cars coming past. So, Haas have blundered in the pit lane. But it is still retrievable, but they have to put up with the force of Lazy but Talented. I'm going to say it, the better performing Merc at the minute. Not that Narbred isn't performing, but Roy, that is wild. AJ will not be happy with this. I don't think he is. And I think it is a question I'll have to ask him at the end of the race. If he does end up on the podium. Which he has the last 2 times, so I'm pretty sure he will this time. There's just a few things in life that you're certain about. It's like, right, this is about to get really off. There's a few things in life that are certain. Death, eating food, and AJ being on the podium. I apologize for getting very dark there, but it had to be done. Standard hash strat failure, common hash L, as some people would say. Common hash L. Yeah, it's safety car period. I ain't really got a lot to say. McLaren into ninth, take notes. Yeah, Roy, I see McLaren, don't you worry. They're in ninth. Kevin Cow with the penalty as well. Even if it does get past Swampy, it will be hard because it's a 3-3. It's a 3 and a 5. I need to wipe my eyes because I haven't blinked in about 5 minutes. But hello, all 4 of you into the stream. Welcome. You're joining us amidst our first safety car, and maybe not our last safety car. Lap 12 of 32 here around Imola, Italy. Where, dare I say, Ferrari are performing pretty well. That one-off livery seems to be doing wonders for them. Will it be here for next weekend? Who knows? How long are they keeping it in the game? Don't know. Are they going to release it so that everyone can use it afterwards, like they have with every other one-off livery so far this season? Probably not, because it's Ferrari. Right. The safety car should come in next lap. So get hyped, people. Get hyped indeed. Safety car going throughout the Minari. They might call it, you know. No, they're not. They're not. They usually call it by the time the safety car goes into Aqua Minerale. Here we go. Here's a nice shot of the safety car and the cars. Going through the chicane. Here they all go. Look at them all. Oh, that's a very late call. Safety car is in this lap. Okay, we're going back to racing now, people. Get hyped even more. So, David DePay, controlling the restart, probably wants to try and benefit teammate AJ as much as possible. And probably not to mess up on himself, because the last few races, David has suffered some unfortunate accidents. He's going to want a good launch, but he will want to keep Lazy and AJ informed of when, well, he wants to keep AJ informed of when he's going to go, so that AJ can get the jump on Lazy. He's gone, hasn't really lost Lazy, sadly, but AJ hasn't either. It's literally as it was. Burmeister taking a dive there on Snoopy. Is it to any avail? We look down the inside, trying to get ahead for the braking zone, does it well. The Haas there, dangerously close over the rumble strip goes Burmeister. Snoopy takes the position. I think already had that penalty. This is going to get very chaotic here. AJ, David, Burmeister does get that move done on Snoopy. And Swampy looking for a move on Be the Process doesn't come to avail, sadly. Swampy was ninth, beginning with the safety car side. Looking towards the front, I'm waiting for something to happen here. I'm waiting. Something will happen, or maybe nothing will happen. Burmeister up into fourth now, and there's speaking of Swampy, I think there's an accident that has occurred involving Kevin. Oh, and Kevin is off the track. Narnbread has no front wing again. No front wing, but at the back again. Involved in another incident is Narnbread. Narnbread can't get a break, and Swampy seems to be involved in this one as well. Doesn't seem like any wing damage, though, on that car. Might have just been a spin, but there's definitely been some form of collision. Lazy takes the lead of the Grand Prix as Narnbread pits for a new win. I think Mercedes are first and last. It's a big Mercedes sandwich, but I think one half of Mercedes is out of this race for sure. I think Narnbread is going to have to try another day. There goes the leaderboard. Sorry, guys. I accidentally hit the wrong button. Let's take a look-see down the grid as we just go on down by. See who's doing what. Hamby going to Aqua Minerale. Nothing to report. Need to wipe my eyes again because I haven't blinked. This is really bad. I don't blink enough. I blink less than I should. So my eyes water. So every time I stop talking, it's because of that. I just need to wipe my eyes a lot. McLaren Rob, says Roy. Well, maybe if you were there, you could have changed the outcome. Anyway. Oh, I did say at the start of the stream, if we were that dedicated to... Actually, no, I will say it, because if you think McLaren had been robbed, if you were so dedicated to McLaren, you would have hitched at AJ's house. I've got a secondary setup and raced there. Anyway, speaking of AJ, down 2 positions, qualified on pole. Not doing too hot as of lately, though. And we're just about to hit half race distance. Roy crying, absolutely sobbing over the fact that McLaren have been robbed, and that I have just said the facts of, if you cared, you'd be there. I'm lazy but talented. How many second penalty was that? 3-second time penalty. Common Haas W? Haas are looking at a good finish now. They could just keep behind Lazy. This is going to be another race decided on penalties. Haas now have just got to work together and keep up with Lazy, which is a pretty hard task because Lazy seems to be a pretty quick driver. But if any two drivers could do it, David and AJ could try and maybe succeed. But there's a little bit of a train going on over here. I want to take a look, see that. Oh my god, yeah, that's a big train. The Alpines are doing a little better now. For all you Alpine lovers like myself. And Mercedes are still very much in the mud here in regards to Nanbred. We'll keep an eye on the front. Burmeister in this train as well. Could add like a third level plot twist onto this. With a 3-second penalty, that would put Lazy, down to 4th. Burmeister would be on the podium again, back-to-back podiums for Burmeister. It'd be very good as we just hit half distance. Josh Morton hit with a penalty. 3 seconds, like his teammate Jens. Unlucky for Alpine today. They will not be celebrating too much. As I just saw an overtake there, Snoopy gets past Mitch and teammate Process gets past Jens. It would appear that the Ferrari dominance is strong at Imola. But if Snoopy wants any hopes of an Italian podium, you got to close up to the cars in front. And let's take a look at how far that gap looks on board. You can't even see him around the corners there. It's that far out. You can just see him take Aqua Minerale. It's a long distance there to make up. David closing up here. Let David cook. Let David cook. Let's see what comes here. David closing and opening like a book here. Can't decide whether or not he wants the overtake or not, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen down this straight here, as I think DRS is enabled now. Going now down onto Lazy. Gaining. Lazy pulls to the side, accepts defeat, and David returns to the lead of the Grand Prix as it was before the safety car hit. AJ now got to make up that pit lane overtake. Let's see what happens here. Hello, all 6 of you. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you all. This is season 8, round 3 of Imola. Of League of MVP round Imola. There we go. I got there certainly. We've just hit half distance. You've missed. If you've just joined, you've missed a little bit, but it's okay. We've got a lot more entertaining racing to come. We're looking here, Hamby, Snoopy, Williams, and Ferrari. Looking here at a little overtake possibility going down the main straight. We should also keep an eye on the top 3, David, Lazy, and AJ, as they can make moves down the straight as well. But we'll keep an eye on these back 3 here, because they are looking a bit closer than any of them back there. David seems to be pulling away from Lazy before the straight, but Lazy is making it up down the straight, as we can see, quite rapidly as well. But here goes Hamby after a crash at the start, dropped him, plummeted him even down to like P14. Really good comeback drive happening here from Hamby, but it's going to take a long drive to catch up to Burmeister, AJ, Lazy, and David. Jens, they're getting past David. Plummeting, may I say, like a rock in a tank. Seems to have recovered it though, and is handling okay now. I think AJ has a move incoming. If there's a little AWS graphic saying like overtake imminent, it would say that about AJ right now, because I think down here, AJ's going to pick up the gap he needs for a DRS overtake down the straight on Lazy, because David keeps pulling away. That Mercedes seems to be really good down on the straight lines though. So as long as David's getting a toe by Lazy, no, as long as Lazy's getting a toe by David, I think AJ's going to struggle. But you need about 4 to 3/10 for a move on the straight to happen. I don't know what that camera angle was, but it's going to be with that Mercedes looking closer to about 2/10 you need for a move, especially in a DRS train. Snoopy and Mitch just overtaking Snoopy there, but we might be able to get a little revenge overtake here. Dino past Jens, you can't see that at the back. I thought you could, but there might be a little bit of a minute until that revenge overtake. Oh, here you go. This is what we're missing. Jesus. Dino plummeting there. There seems to be a little bit of a squabble going on here. I missed this. Jens in the lead of this squabble of cars. The squabble including Jens up the front. Process, Smith, Kevin on his first race of the season. Currently sitting 12th to the penalty. I think with 7 seconds. 8 seconds, sorry, even. Odd plus odd, even. Cammy, Josh, Dino, Swampy, miles off the pack, absolute miles. Just don't look at the track map. But if you're talking about someone who's miles off, Nanbred is planets away in terms of the rest of the pack. Safety car would be needed, as picking up a 3-second time penalty won't help his cause much there. Both Mercedes with a penalty. Are Mercedes 30 drivers? Who knows? Snoopy, though. Looking for a move here. Let's go on board because the camera angle it gave me was really bad. Side by side, here they go. You just about see the nose. Snoopy brakes early for safety. Looking for a better exit here into the uphill braking zone. Looking pretty good. Here we go. Round here. Oh, that's a nice camera angle. I should do that more. Alfa Romeo of Team Red lurking behind here. Let's go back on board. I like this. I like this little angle we're getting here. Here goes Team Red. The Aston Martin has been released. I think Team Red is going to be held at bay through Aqua Minerale. Let's give it 1 little second. Yeah, I think that's those cars are going to be held at bay there. I should do that more often. That was very nice perspective because the camera angles are always so bad. Dino! Excuse me, time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Or multiple warnings even. Track limit or racing. Just looking around little DRS trains right now. Apologies, I have missed a crucial overtake, as I usually do, and it seemed to have happened a while ago, because AJ has gone past Lazy. I apologise for my ignorance, but Haas 1-2, Lazy P3, Burmeister P4. Burmeister could go for a move for the podium here, be risky, and not necessarily necessary, but memes, why not? Snoopy here in another squabble. Snoopy can't seem to catch a break here in this lovely Ferrari with a bit more yellow on it than normal. Having a scrap again with Mitch. This little 3-car squabble is something to look at for sure. I will keep an eye. That isn't me in cockpit cam, by the way. I apologise if you do not like this camera angle. I will try and change it. There you go. I do hate some of the camera angles in this game. They are not necessarily the most helpful. AJ and David about to battle for the win last few laps. Okay, right, hear me out. I don't know who the team principal of Haas is, but I think it's David. Right? My personal opinion. What I would want to happen is they would fight it out, no remorse against each other. And when they get into my comments box, they're just arguing and yelling at each other. But what will realistically happen, right, is Lazy's going to overtake him. That's realistically what's going to happen. That's realistically what's going to happen, because it's happened now. But what I was going to say is they might let David stay in front because, of course, the accidents that have occurred in the previous races. And there's a safety car. I'm going to have to look back at why that's been pulled out. Probably a debris on track. I will look into that in a minute, but David does need the points, I think, after a few DNS and stuff. The little extra points for being in first. would be quite useful to them. So, do with that information what you please. And we do have a safety car. Is anyone familiar with why there is a safety car out? I don't know. But, hello everybody. This is safety car numero dos, all 6 of you. Nice to see you all here. Pleasure being your commentator for today if you decide to stick around. If not, fair enough. Non-Bread's left the session. And Lazy's back into the pit lane. Burmeister gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's all going off now. This could be a pit for mediums. Any soft gamblers? Let's take a look. Oh, we have soft gamblers. You love to see this. Haas double stacked again. Have they not learned? Haas have not learned. They double stack again and let Burmeister through now. There is a few soft gamblers, but most opting for mediums. This is very interesting choice of strategy. Roy says, let's get them softs out. But it's just about half the grid on the soft tyre. So, Haas's ignorance to their previous mistake, or maybe there's a reason behind it, we'll have to ask them. But due to their double stack, which may be a necessary evil they've had to take, actually, because they can't. There's no point pitting on the next lap when everyone's bundled up. It's a necessary evil, but it's cost them another position, which is very unfortunate. Actually, Nanbread wasn't here. Nanbread's AI has pitted onto softs, so I think that softs are the tyres to be on right now. Because if Nanbread's AI put them on, the AI is usually right in this scenario. Even if the AI is rated like 30. But we have David in the lead, followed by Lazy, then Burmeister on track for another podium, although with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, I believe. That might be off the cards now. Yes, 5-second time penalty. Watch that McLaren no penalty strategy work out. I hate to say it, but you might be right. Right? If Swampy can just get up, like up, like get up the ball and keep up with the rest, it could be on the cards for McLaren, but and Nanbread and all those cars that were really far out really did need that safety car. As Dino comes into the pit lane now, I think Roy is just on a bit too much copium or hopium right now. I don't think it's going to work out. You might squeeze 10th if you're lucky. Well, position gainers at the front. 3-3 to Lazy and David. Minus 3-3 to Hamby and AJ. Hamby's back in the top fight. This could actually get really interesting. It could be a really good. It would be a really good points haul for Haas if they can get the double podium here. Because Hamby has no teammate. Lazy has no teammate available to hand currently. Burmeister has no teammate currently according to hand. So the Hasses have that chance of working together and making it work out. But I have a feeling those on the mediums may have done an oopsie. I think softs may be the type to be on unless they go off right near the end. If I remember, softs have an average tire life of about 10 laps, which would be fine for this. So, I digress. David will lead us away on the second safety car restart. Lazy not too far behind. Burmeister now joining the equation with AJ behind, losing out to Burmeister in the pit lane. Oh, a little bit of a bait. Through the first Ravazza. Through the second Ravazza. I think they're called Ravazzas. If they're not Ravazzas, then I'm sorry. But there he goes. Hello, all six of you. Welcome back to the Safety Car Regional. Lap 26 just started in Season 8, Round 3. Imola, full league of MVP. David gets away pretty well. Lazy does pretty well to keep a hold. Burmeister looks at Lazy. Lazy looks at David. No avail there. Now Burmeister. Penalties being picked up across the joint. Nanbread, I think, and Cammy picking up penalties. And Josh Morton. Hamby gets by. What's happened to Burmeister? Burmeister is ghosted. For some reason, there was a Ferrari there near the grass. Yellow flag in Sector 1. What has happened here on the start? Kevin Cow losing a position. Burmeister losing out to Hamby. AJ gaining back on Burmeister as it was. That's a song by Harry Styles. Dino has a 5-second time penalty due to corner cutting and gaining 1 place. David has a 1-second buffer already to Lazy, who has a... That penalty range could be good. Kevin picking up another 3-second time penalty. That makes 6 plus 5. That makes 11-second time penalty for Kevin on the first race, sadly. It's not going to be one to remember, I think, but you always remember your first. David goes fastest on those soft tyres. Burmeister's out of the session. This could be a safety car. It's caution in Sector 1. I think it was just a retirement in the pit lane. Never mind, we're all good. No more safety cars. Burmeister just decided enough was enough. I completely forgot. I'm in my league of MVP drip. Thank you for Roy for supplying the drip. Absolute GOAT. That's the only time you'll ever hear me say Roy's an absolute GOAT. Unless he gets a race win. Because then he has earned the GOAT title. But I'm yet to witness a Roy race win. So when that does happen, he'll be on GOAT status. But anyway, let's take a look around. What's happened to Swampy? What's happened back here, mainly? Not just a Swampy, B process, Kevin Cow. Up in P10, but with a lot of penalties here. But everyone behind, stocked full of penalties. We'll have to take a look in the closing 2 laps of the penalties and get rid of the positions change. Because I do like the position change graphic the most. I know you guys might not like it, but I do. B process pits to serve a penalty that needed to be served. And onto soft tyres. B process, guys, but it's a bit late now, I think, innit? Looking for content. 3-second time penalty, Josh Morton from Upward Chat Limit Warnings. Hello, all 6 of you decided to stick around in the stream. Lovely to see you all here. All the cars are sort of in a train right now, so I don't really have any content to cover. I see a little bit of content emerging here. Possible content here. I think Mitch did actually just slow past. No, he didn't. Sorry. Excuse me, I'm blind. So how are the medium runners at the front doing? So Hamby's on softs, AJ mediums, Lazy mediums, David on softs. David's pulled a 2.5 to Lazy, leaving AJ to fight Lazy alone on the same tyre compound. It's even Stevens, no mechanical advantage to either of them. And Smidge gets past the ends. This is going to be an interesting closing laps. Roy. Oh, we've lost to Josh Morton into the pit lane, I think. And goes Josh Morton, making it more retirees for this race. Roy, what's your take on the Hasses today, the pair of Hasses? Sorry, my eyes went again. My eyes, I don't know what it is, but my eyes are just like really bad recently. It's like my new yawning thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I yawn still, but like the eyes are like worse somehow. They will secure 1-2 in the end, but overall success, I guess. Well, the 1-2's been secured, alright. AJ gets past Lazy on the straight, I would assume. While I was wiping my eyes and looking at Roy's chat messages, I've been really bad today. I've been so bad. I don't know how you guys have not fired me yet. If this was like any, like, not even semi-professional, if this was any, like, public league, oh, I would be fired unless they literally had no other commentator. But I digress. Hamby on for another podium, it might appear. If you could stick within that distance of the penalty, which I think is happening. I think either way have secured the 1-2. We're about to get onto lap 31. I think overall this hasn't been a bad race. I think from the driver's standpoint, no crazy weather, no crazy conditions, no rain. The sun actually came out. The clouds sort of backed off a bit. It always looks dark at the start of the race for some reason, but maybe I don't know. Maybe game bug, who knows, or just me, my eyesight being bad, but I digress. Solid race from Haas, comeback drive they needed. This is going to reinstate their place in that title fight, constructors-wise and drivers-wise, with both their drivers. This is going to give David the spark of hope he needs to continue going after a recent slew of bad performances. And Hamby also, for Williams, going to secure another dub. It could have been a great race for Mercedes if Narnbred didn't have his accident and Lazy can get a penalty. So it's a disaster class. It's a disaster class for Mercedes today, I guess. It seems one team is always cursed. There's always a one cursed team. It's like the Rosberg curse, but I don't know what it is. Jens, 3-second time penalties for multiple warnings. Not that it matters, everyone down there has a lot of penalties. Let's take a quick look at the penalties before the final lap. Let's pull them up. Didn't really matter if you're on the mediums or softs. I guess the softs just had that little bit of an advantage, although actually AJ seems to be catching up to the soft tyres. The soft tyres maybe running out about now, but hopefully David doesn't choke it on the line. I accidentally changed back to the positions changed. Sorry, bad habit. So 3 seconds for Lazy, which is going to promote Hamby to podium. Snoopy 9 seconds. Kevin 6. Jens 10. Nounred 3 seconds. No, sorry. Jens 6 seconds as well. Dino 8 seconds. B-Process 3 seconds. And Cammy 6 seconds. I'm not even going to try and say the results as they come across the line. I'm just going to say the top 3. And then figure it out on the ending screen. So, David DePay, reigning champion, I think, or at least definite champion before, needed this race to bring his morale up after a slew of bad performances. And I think up this mood, this will, because he comes home in Imola to dub for Haas. And it's a Haas 1-2. All could not be better for Haas right now. And Hamby secures a podium positioning as well. P3. Another podium for Hamby. Brilliant stuff from Williams. And brilliant stuff from Haas. No cock-ups. And, hold on. Yes, points for McLaren. Well done, Roy. You did so much to secure 2 points. So yeah, I'll just go over the results in a moment when I get them on the ending card screen. Although I probably could go over them now. I'm just, like, need to wipe my eyes again. But no, please stick around, guys, for post-race interviews, which will be occurring very shortly. I could probably start them now. Roy, I'm going to leave the party chat. Actually, no, I'm just going to add them. Actually, no. Actually, yeah, I am. No, actually, yes, I'm just going to add them to a party chat with you. Hopefully, you don't mind, Roy. If you do, then oh well, I guess. No Mercedes this time. Hamby and AJ. Did I add David? Yes, I did. Here we go. You guys can watch the podium celebration. I can't quite see it. But, David, back on the top step. That will feel great for him. That will feel great for him. He needed that. As the Haas boys celebrate, with Hamby up there as well. So this is your quick rundown of the results. David takes P1 for Haas. AJ taking P2 for Haas, and Hamby taking P3 for Williams. Lazy takes P4, Team Red takes P5, Mitch takes P6, Smitch takes P7, Snoopy takes P8, Swampy, Jesus Christ, I had a stroke there, takes P9, Narbread takes P10, Kevin Cow takes P11, Jens takes P12, Dino takes P13, B Process takes P14, I can't see the rest, hold on. Cammy takes P15, Josh takes P16, Burmeister takes P17, and I'm being signed takes P18. Hey lads.
Hello.
Are we missing one?
No, we're all.
We're missing position numero uno himself. No, he's here.
He's here.
Never mind. He's here. Never mind. Great. Okay. I have choice words for some of you. Hamby, don't worry, I don't have choice words for you. Congratulations on another podium, man. Williams looking really, really strong. How do you feel your race went today?
I had a good race. I did want to recover after I made a silly mistake and spun.
Yeah, I was going to say you had to do quite the recovery drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your teammate as well, unfortunately, I think DNFing, which, it happens, but,
You're complaining about someone taking him out, but I've no idea who it was.
yeah. I mean, you still secured the bag for Williams, so that, I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's really good. How do you feel like the safety cars went as well? Like, you seem to handle them, I think, pretty well. At some points, I just lost track of you during the race, so I can't really remember much about your race. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I got lucky with the first safety car to catch back up to everyone. But after that, I just
that did help.
Through.
Yeah. Did you come into Imola thinking it would be like a strong race for you? Did you feel like it was a track you would think you would get a podium on?
Yeah, it's a fairly strong track for me.
Fair play. I mean, you secured the podium, which is more than you can ask for, I think, as well. That podium, for you as a driver, might tip you up into the top 4, and it'll give a boost to Williams, who are currently sat second in the championship. It might actually make you. Actually, no, I don't know how that will work with Haas's points. But
will be top. Haas will be top.
Yeah, Haas might be top, but you still secured some great points for your constructors, confirming you're second, I think, if I do the quick maths. But you might have just snatched first, I don't know. But anyway, I don't really have much else to say about your race, other than it was a great comeback drive. So do you have any words?
Yeah, I agree with you. No, not really.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go, man. If you want to leave, or you can stay. Because I'm going to grill the Haas boys now.
Alright.
Lads, we'll start with AJ. First of all, congratulations on the 1-2, the both of yous.
Thank you.
Long time coming. Long time coming. AJ.
Yes.
Before I have some choice words for you, how was your race firstly? How do you feel it went?
It was really good. Obviously got really unlucky with the 2 safety cars having to double stack twice and losing positions both times, um, and having to make those positions back up, obviously. But I no offense to David, but I think I would have gotten him one more lap if we had one more lap. But no, it was really good team play at the end there, and really throughout the entire race. Honestly,
It was some good teamwork.
yeah, we were staying in each other's DRS and dropping the people behind us. So that's what it's all about.
You sort of touched on what I wanted to touch on. The safety cars. Um,
They're absurd and out of hand. People need to stop DNFing.
okay, that wasn't what I was going to touch on. I was going to talk about how you lost a position both times you went into pit due to double stacking. Was that like a necessary evil you had to take, or was that just David giving you a fat middle finger?
No, it was a necessary evil. I would have been off completely strategy-wise if I hadn't. So, I had to do it. There was no other option. And I mean, in the end, it worked out anyway. And I mean, from there, it's just not getting a penalty because, Mark and Burr both had penalties before Burr. I honestly thought I was going to get taken out there from those two, Mark and Burr. I don't know
be
what
happy
that
to
was.
Hear that.
I was freaking out when I passed them.
With Mark, you really gave it a proper good tussle down
yeah.
With Mark, and it was some good moments. But at the end of the day, it was just stay behind him and keep him out of penalties.
Yeah, he had the penalty, but at the same time, I don't know if it gave him a 3-second penalty off one warning. You know how it does that, so I didn't want to take that chance, so I just figured I'd beat him on track anyway.
Yeah. You'll be happy to hear the other Mercedes was quite far down, so you've actually...
Yeah, he had some connection issues again. He might be getting a penalty, I'm sure, because that's what it sounds like it's coming to, so...
we seem to be having them every week. Is there like a game issue?
Yeah, well, it's George right now. I don't know what's going on with his connection.
Because it happened with David last week as well, the exact same thing.
Well, for David, it was his power going out, and same thing as to why he joined halfway through quali, too. Yeah, it's his power going out.
Understandable. Yeah. Roy wants me to ask if you had any team orders that race. I also think there might be team orders.
No. I mean, we just discussed, we didn't want to hold each other up because in that first stint we were trying to drop Mark because he was on a completely different strategy. It worked out anyway, just because, the safety car came out that first time and he boxed with us. But there were no team orders. We just said, if we're close enough, you might as well make the pass and not hold each other up. And then, unfortunately, I just got unlucky with that safety car.
There was definitely a point where you exchanged positions on the straight, and it looked pretty, team ordery.
I'd say, I mean, we weren't fighting each other. Yeah. So I think you're referring to that first stint.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to fight David in both, either cost us the race or cost us time to mark.
Was there any consideration that David was lower on the points than you are at the minute, so maybe it would have been worth giving him the W?
Well, at the last lap, when David pretty much had it wrapped up, I wanted the win because I wanted more points to mark, but at the same time it works out because David needs points also in the championship. So either way, I mean, either one of us winning that would have had a great benefit. But, it wasn't team order. It is what it is. It wasn't team orders. It was just good old-fashioned driving.
Yeah, Roy gives you fat GGs.
What was that?
He gives you, GG. He said GG.
Oh,
he gives you a fat
okay.
GG.
Okay. I didn't hear you.
Sorry, is my slang too British?
It is a little bit.
But I gotta move off you and talk to David.
Yep.
But do you have anything quickly you want to say?
No, it was just a great race for Haas. I'm happy about it.
Okay, well, I assume I'm gonna hear the same thing again, but from David. David, long time no speak. What's with the wait, homie? I'm joking. How are you, man?
I'm happy I can speak to you again.
How was your race? I think I know
Yeah,
how
I
it's
mean,
gonna be, but
in the beginning, it was terrible again. I wanted to come back to my PlayStation, and I saw everything was shut down again with the power and the current, and so I had to join mid quali. Could basically do only one lap. It was good enough for P4, so I was happy with it. Had a clean start, and then yeah, just a solo race. This time AJ got unlucky with the safety cars. Last 2 times I got unlucky with the safety cars, so yeah, I mean, we're just in the end happy to finally get on the podium and even win with the fastest lap and just get the 1-2 for the
you
team.
did
So
get the
it's
fastest lap.
perfect.
Yeah. So good points, Hall. Of course, I think you really needed this podium or race win quite deep down because the first two races have been quite rough, and the Haas one
Yeah.
too just adds a cherry on top of that because Haas
Yeah.
had
It, sh-
been.
Yeah.
it should have been a
Yeah.
1-2 in Australia.
Yeah.
It
But
was a
again,
bit
these
shambolic.
safety cars are just ridiculous.
There
Yeah, I
seems
mean,
to be a
of
fair
course in
few of them.
Australia I got taken out, but it was also my fault to stay out on the hards. But I've got pretty unlucky in both races, but happy to be bouncing back with a win and fastest lap. I think that's the best way to bounce back, I think.
How do you feel? This is for both of you, by the way, because I just thought of this question. How do you feel we could combat the safety car issue? Do you think it's a case on we enforce stricter penalties, or is it a thing where we just have to say right, we're gonna have to turn down the safety car settings? How do you think we're gonna solve this problem?
You mean the rate of the safety cars, the amount of safety cars we have?
Yeah, the amount of safety cars per race. Because right now we haven't gone a single race without a safety car so far, and we're
Yeah,
three
I
races
I
mean,
think
into
in
the
the
we've
end,
season.
had
in the end, we're still an amateur league. We're not professionals, and yeah, then many people DNF, and that's a risk with safety cars. But yeah, I agree. We have a lot, and it's getting a bit of a lottery. Maybe we have to get it back on. I don't know how you call it on the settings, but get it less like we have on street circuits.
Yeah,
But yeah,
put it
we're not
down to a
professionals,
permanent
so
reduced.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
exactly.
not
So
professionals.
no.
Like, if we were professionals, I wouldn't be here. Um, but yeah, AJ, because it feels like you seem a bit more strongly about the issue.
Oh yeah, I think I mean we've had two safety cars. I think Austria we had three,
I think
but
so. If you're
two
not
safety
counting
cars a
the
race minimum, which
sprint.
is I mean it's just ridiculous at this point. You know,
So,
I know it's the occasional safety car is a good thing. You know, it throws strategy out the
but
window,
then
but
it
when it's
becomes a
every
lottery.
single week,
It becomes a
when
lottery.
yeah, it's ridiculous and I think we're gonna have to do something about it. I know Mark feels the same way.
How do
I'm
you
sure
feel like
Burr
we can
does.
combat it? Any early thoughts? Because I know you are
Well,
on the stewarding
I
team.
mean, we could look at doing reduced safety car on all tracks. I know some people will be against that. I won't name names, but um, it's just getting to a point where
It's
I'm
becoming
I'm
a lottery and not
yeah I'm taking
a reflection of skill.
I'm taking safety cars into my strategy, a couple safety cars into my strategy every race now,
Which
which
is,
I shouldn't have
yeah,
to do that.
yeah.
But again, one's fine, two per race is getting a little ridiculous.
You heard the man, Roy. Um,
You heard me, Roy.
but no, lads. This should, I think this, if my quick maths is at least okay, this should bump you up quite high up the standings to first in constructors.
Yeah,
And
Let me
but
see.
AJ, you should
I
close your
should,
gap to Lazy.
yeah,
And David, you actually have points on the board this time, which
yeah,
should put
another little
you
bit. So that's a good start.
tied fifth with Snoopy.
Yeah, in the beginning of we started the race, AJ said I didn't contribute anything, and now
All right. All right.
That's a bit cruel. Well, you've
Nah,
contributed now, and you
yeah,
both did
exactly.
an amazing job. I'm going to let you go unless you have any final words.
Nope. I've
No,
said
not really.
everything I need to.
Just a really solid day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'll let you two go then, and I'm also going to disappear. I'm going to wrap up the stream.
All right, thanks
So,
for the
see you
All
lads.
conversation.
right.
No
All right.
problemos.
All
All
right.
right, bye bye.
See ya.
See ya. Well, that wraps up our race. Thank you, Roy. See you next week. Hopefully in person this time. I'm gonna mute in game because they all can still hear me. But no, thank you everyone for joining us here. We had pretty good attendance this stream. I'm happy about that. I don't know where I'm coming at you from next week, but I'm gonna quickly check because I know y'all are interested in all that. Where's the calendar? Can we Discord people, can we add a calendar channel just so like I can see the calendar? Because I always can't find it. Here we go, I found it. Ooh, from Imola to Miami, we're going to a street track. We'll be coming at you there next week. I hope to see you all there. Should be a good race. I like Miami, so we'll see how it turns out. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure commentating as always. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Have a good one, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.